Hello and welcome to Animal Reserve, my friends. Hey, this is a watch me video, which means all you have to do is sit back, relax, and watch how I solve this problem here. Then at the end, you're going to want to copy all the good stuff into your notebooks so you can refer to this on future problems. That's easy for me to say, huh? All right, without further ado, let us move on to our scenario. You are trying to protect a family of moose. That is very nice of you. Their home is in this polygon shown below, this polygon area right here. It is beautiful, my friends. You see the nice reflection of the mountain in the lake there? Yeah, pretty. All right. In order to protect this animal reserve, you must solve for the area of their home. And what a beautiful home that is right in that area there. So, see the measurements below, and then we've got all our measurements here. We'll go over that in a moment. And what you must do is figure out how many square miles is this animal reserve. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Alrighty, so the first thing you see is that you've got a rectangular area here, and then on top of that you've got a triangular area up here. And in this case there is a line going through here. Sometimes you won't see a line, and it's really important that you kind of figure out that there is a line there. And what I like to do is, as you see, I'm going to make this kind of red, but that you can see through it. And I always like to kind of do that right there and show that you've got one rectangle here and then another triangle up on top. And then you got to kind of figure out what are your measurements for these different lines, right? And it's interesting because your bottom measurement, you've got this full length here, and from here to here is 12 miles, right? And then from the bottom here, going straight all the way up to the top, that's 5 miles right up there, right? We don't know what this is. However, that's not really important for figuring out the area of a triangle, so that's unneeded information anyway. We do know that this is 7 miles, but we do not know what this is. So we're going to have to figure out the length of this, because for a triangle, you need the height and you need the base. And we don't have either of those right now, because this base, we don't know what this section is from here to here. We know that from here to here is 12, and from here to here is 7, but we don't know this yet. We'll figure that out. And we also don't know the height, because we only know from all the way down here to the tip of here. We know that's 5 miles, but we don't know what this is from here to here, which is what you would need to figure out the area of that triangle. So we'll do that in a moment. And we do know that this is 2 right here, right? So let's go ahead and just start solving this. And what I'd like to do first is I'm going to take this rectangle and move it from here. And I want to just show you something, that this is 7 miles across from here to here, right? And then we know that if we have this here, from here all the way to here is 12. So in that case, we're going to take this 12 miles, right? And we're going to subtract the 7 miles that you got here, right? Or the other way of thinking of it is 7 plus this amount here would give you the full amount of that right there, right? So let's go ahead and do that right now. And we can do that in our head. 7 plus 3 would give us 10, plus 2 would give us the 12, right? So 7 here, plus 5 right here. And I'm going to enlarge that and write that right here. We would have another 5 miles right here going across. And that would give us that section. So this base here, from this tip here to here, is going to be 5 miles. Fantastic. Boom. All right, so now I got to figure out what the height is from here to here. And once again, if this is 2, I can simply take this here, shrink it all the way to there, and you can see that that's going to be 2 as well, right? So if this is 2 on this end, this is also going to be 2 right there, correct? All right, so now knowing that, that means that this is 2, and the whole thing is 5. So 5 minus this 2 would give me 3 miles from here to here. So let's go ahead and write that in. And I'm going to just write right here, I'm going to write 3 miles. And that is from here all the way to the tip right there. So I've got sloppy handwriting, I know, but this is 3 miles from here to here. So now I can start working and solving my area because I know what the height is here and I know what the base is. And for my triangle, I know what the base is and I know what the height is. And all I need to do is write my formulas and then solve for those problems. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to write this problem here. And for the area of a rectangle, A equals base times height. So A is going to equal, and my base right here is 12 miles. So I'm going to write 12 right here. And I'm going to multiply that by the height. Now the height happens to be right here, 2 miles, right? So it's too high. So let's go ahead and enlarge this again and write my 2 right in there. And then I can just multiply. 12 times 2 is going to give me 24, right? And I'm going to write the A equals. And it's 24 miles, right? So I'm going to write miles, and that is squared. So that's 24 miles squared. Now, I've got to add this in, this triangle here, right? And before I can do that, I need to write my formula. So let's go ahead and come on up here, and we're going to write A equals base times height divided by 2. Now, the reason that works, remember, if I have this, and I'm going to just make a little triangle here to kind of show this. And if I had a triangle here, you can see, whoops, this is a little bit off. And it's not going to be perfect, but you'll see that if I've got this triangle, it's really, I've got my base times my height, right? Would give me the full rectangle, but a triangle is only half of it because this half is gone, right? So you only get half of it. And that's why you take base times height and you divide it by 2 because it is, a triangle is only half of the area of a rectangle because this half is gone, right? All right, let's get rid of this here and we will move on with our problem here. So now I'm going to just start plugging in the numbers for the base and the height, right? So my base is 5 and my height is 3. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to rewrite this again, and I'm going to just say A equals, now my base is 5 times my height of 3, and then that'll get divided by 2. So I'm going to rewrite this again, and this time I'm going to take 5 times 3 is going to give me 15, right? And right there, divided by 2. And then if I take 15 and I divide it by 2, I'm going to get 7.5. And the way that works is that 7 times 2 would give me 14, right? So let's go ahead and write the A equals, and I'd have 7, right? And that gives me 14. I got the 1 left over, and I would have 1 out of 2 left over. So I would have 1/2, right? So this is 7.5 miles. Let's write this down nice and neat. And that would be squared, right? So now, bam, I've figured out how many square miles are in this rectangle. That's not a rectangle. That is a triangle. Thank you. And so there's 7.5 square miles in the triangle. And then there's 24 square miles in the rectangle. So all I have to do is add those two bad boys together. Let's go ahead and do that right now. And bam, right there we have it. 24 plus 7.5 is going to give you 31.5 miles squared. And that is how many square miles are in this animal reserve right here for the moose that you love so much. Those are lucky moose, because they get to have this beautiful scenery here. Hey, that is all you have to do. Now what you want to do is pause this video. Make sure you copy the Polygon here and then all my notes so that you have this to refer to next time you have a problem. Until next time, I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you soon.